bit about the Linotype machines that I used to repair them.
Good.
Okay.
You know, there's more room in here. There are people standing.
Yeah, you want, come on in.
There's a chair.
Carl Bayer just wanted me to explain the principles of this machine. These little things are called matrices, brass matrices. And on one side there's an indentation that will be the letter when the hot lead pours on it, and on the front is a little etch for what the letter is. So when they came down in the machine, the operator could see the line of type as it went along and make sure the spelling was correct. Okay, I started out with a company called Matrix Contrast on the north side of Chicago, and we painted, we had a machine that painted a little indentation on this side, and I delivered them to Chicago Tribune, Chicago Sun-Times, Daily Racing Forum, a lot of printing companies downtown Chicago, plus I ran the shop. So the foreman at the Chicago Daily Racing Forum, has anybody ever heard of that?
Yeah.
It's the betting man's Bible. It's all about horse racing tracks all over the United States. And he kept asking me to be, come in and be his apprentice in the machinist room. So I finally did. And I remember my first day in the shop, his dad took me over to the machine. I had kind of longish hair and beard. He said, I don't care if your hair grows down the back of your legs. He said, but when this machine goes into action, if it caught your hair or your beard, it would rip your face off, and it would be inside the machine. So I went home and cut my hair and shaved. So I was there 8 months, and but this was quite a machine. And then when I stopped by to see Carl and talked to him about it, and I came over and talked to Fred Munchow, and he said, do you think you can maybe get it running? I said, Fred, it's been 33 years, you know, I can't remember how to fix it. So, and I met you last week, remember that? Okay. Well, anyway, they just wanted me to tell you a little bit about it.
How many moving parts did it have? Didn't you say it
It
has?
had 8,700 parts, and 90% of them moved. And they had stopped making these years ago. The companies that made them, Harris and a couple others, were still making the brass matrices. But we had lathes in our machine shop. We had to make our own parts for these machines when they broke and had to let the handle break or something. We had to do the welding. So at the end of 8 months, bragging a little, I was doing work in the 4th-year apprentice. And then one day I said, that's enough of the city, and left. And it's now called Printer's Row. Have you heard that expression before? Okay. It's all very expensive condos now. They turned all those old printing buildings into very expensive condos with real tall ceilings in there. And oh, also, we had 85 employees in the third floor composing room. And I remember our chapel chairman, same thing as a shop steward, said, he kept urging everyone to go down and take some classes to be updated. He said, because it's all going to be computerized someday. In fact, the Tribune was about 10% computerized. So everybody scoffed and said, no, they'll never replace us. That was in 1971. In 1980, they built a new plant up on the Chicago River, and there are now 29 employees doing the same job as 85.
Wow.
So when your boss tells you go get an upgrade, well, you guys aren't worried about it. But anyway, go do it.
Different area.
So I appreciate Carl asked me to come here and Fred. But this is what the Linotype looked like. It came out like that, the hot lead that used to squirt out. And that's what the Linotype looks like. I've still got some of my tools from that job.
So when they were done, what did they do with
Then they took it out and they had these forms laying on big flat tables.
There's trays of forms and
Yeah,
stuff.
there's trays of
And after
forms
the
here.
ceremony, you might want to pull those out. There's wood type in there, handset type.
But they would lay it out in a big form the size of the page of the newspaper, lock it all in, then that would be carried by, it would be put on a tray and carried over to the press and locked into the press. And then the big rolls would start. Our press was huge, it was the size of that, half size of that
There's
building.
galleys and Linotype lined up over there.
You have to even first, don't forget. So the lead
Yeah,
makes the letters?
yeah, we had big rolls of ink that go on it, yeah.
Yeah, but what do you do with the lead when you're all done with it?
You
Take
remelt,
under
it was
your melt?
remelted and recycled.
Yeah, they kept remelting it.
Printer told me one time they handled 8 tons of lead a week on a weekly newspaper, but it was all recycled.
So all that lead oxide was going throughout the building and nobody was concerned about lead poisoning.
No.
I was just thinking of
You're
that.
still here?
That was. Well, she only had to worry about one machine, we had 27.
She was sitting right there.
Well, there's one other comment I would like. There was a step out in the back there when the Linotype stopped and that arm was out. You had to get back up on that step, pull that arm out and look down there and see what the problem was. If some of those mats had gone down crooked. And then you pull that out, well, after 12 years, I got a bad shoulder. So,
You're blaming all your ills on this one job.
Now, that was at the Columbia Courier, wasn't it?
Did you work for Howard and Gail Cosbaugh?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, because she was the editor at the Waterlake Record when I worked there in the early 70s,
Yeah.
after I quit the
Yeah, I was there.
newspaper in
And
Chicago.
then when they sold out, I came to Waterlake in part-time, emergency type.
See, I never met Wanda because she used to set type at night.
Yeah.
I think the only thing Gordon set all the type during the day, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Oh, no, we were already computerized. That's right, we had a computer, that's right, everything was already done. He just set headlines and things like that.
Headlines, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I left the palladium in Bent Harbor, St. Joe, because they went computerized.
She talks about standing on that platform in the back. Harold Crocker, that was the superintendent in school, and he had a little boy, oh, probably 4 or 5 years old. And he'd come down with his dad, because Harold liked to visit and watch the printing, and he liked to help print things. And the little boy went home to his dad one day, and he says, "Why don't you get a typewriter with a running board on it, you know?"
Now, he was my dad's basketball coach too in the late 30s. Harold, they called him Croc. I remember him telling about that. My dad was is Augie Larson, he's still alive, 82. Just came back from a 4-day visit with his he had 18 shipmates left from World War II, and they met up in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, because their ship was named after the Fond du Lac.